This is part 1. This is something that I need to do because yesterday I was looking at a video and someone was talking about how far they'd come in 2 years from grief and loss. It's been 13 days since Darren passed in front of me. He died in the sea on holiday and I worked on him very hard to keep him here, and so did all the people on the beach and the paramedics. The blessing is that I was allowed for half an hour to lay with him and cuddle him and say goodbye, which is very lucky because I'm now not allowed to view him, see him, get a bit of his hair, go to the funeral, have any ashes. And this isn't a sob story. The video I watched inspired me to take you through Darren's diary on how you're going to cope with your loss. I never expected my soul contract to put me through so much. So if you know my background, you'll know that I suffered catastrophic loss and I thought that was my lot. And now I signed up to have nearly 6 years of bliss with my soulmate and then watch him die. Just as we were starting something beautiful work-wise. The vitriol of the ex has been non-stop. So during the divorce, because she's very wealthy, she just threw money at his solicitor and basically cleared his house out and took everything from him. And on top of that, he wasn't allowed to see his grandchildren, which made him suicidal, and he had to have counselling. They broke his heart, his soul, his reason to want to live. They hated me with a vengeance. Police were involved. And what they can't take from us is that we had the most blissful, wonderful, loving, sensational relationship I could possibly ever have. And I helped him to rebuild his life. He hadn't been talking to his own family because they couldn't stand the ex, and I continually encouraged him to build bridges there. So he finally ended up talking back with his sisters and mother. So one bit of paper that he kept promising to do, it's one thing that absolutely drove me crazy about Darren, was that he was a procrastinator and he put things off. And he kept promising, because he had so much stress, that he would put all his official wants, needs, wishes in order, because he had been so badly hurt by his family that he wanted to make sure that I was protected, because he knew that I would be a scapegoat for everything. He completely randomly bumped into his daughter about a year ago, and the mental gameplay started again, but he was desperate to see his boys. One of them's even born and he weren't even told about it, as a punishment. He knew he was being played, he knew that he was being manipulated, and he used to come home here, sometimes crying, saying, why can't people just love me, accept you, and everything be in peace? And I said, I don't know, Darren. So he would try and build relationships with his daughter, to see his boys, but he knew that it wasn't a proper relationship, and he was disgusted by the fact that I wasn't allowed in 6 years on, even though everybody else was allowed to move on, he wasn't. So that's the history. So what people didn't realise is that I had, obviously, because he's my partner, ring camera access to our property where Fifth Dimension was. And the only reason the building was built, or the shed was built, on his mum's land was because we didn't have the room here. I live in a tiny little bungalow, tiny little garden. That's the only reason. So on the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, I hadn't looked, obviously. But when I look back a couple of days ago, they're all clearing it out. And I've had demands every single day. I want this, I want that. And as you know, tribe, just having the love and the connection is enough. But like his t-shirt here, as a human, you jump from 3D to 5D. So, despite the fact that I repatriated him, flew his mother out, flew my brother out, arranged everything for him to be brought back home, I was condemned for contacting the funeral directors that I legally needed to do. I was condemned for dropping off stuff to his house that they were demanding, obviously money, bank statements. And all they want was everything they possibly can, because they're 3D materialistic people. I couldn't even grieve. As again, I'm trying to say, this isn't a sob story. It's not me saying, look how I've been treated. It's to show you the amount of pain that's been inflicted, where I can't even say goodbye to him or go to a funeral. So every day there's the flashback of doing CPR, dragging him, screaming back to the beach. People filming it. Me begging him not to leave me, begging it to be a near-death experience so that he could share it with all you people. But I know. So they pulled me away while they worked on him, and I pleaded with the angels to not give me another trauma, another loss. But I knew Azrael was there. And sometimes when you are connected to celestial realms, you hate them because you know. 3 months before he passed, I started ripping out the house, clearing it, decorating it, getting the house painted, getting the back patio done. I was obsessed with getting this place. I kept saying to him, I feel we're moving. And he's like, of course we're not. We're staying here and then we're going to have the best time ever together for the rest of our lives. And there was something not right. And I kept pushing and pushing for him to get his affairs in order. I was like obsessed with it. And I swear now, most probably, if there ever was a will, I'd give it all to animal charity, because it's just blood money anyway. So anyway, the pain of both sides of the family becoming vultures, demanding everything. I've got his dressing gown, a couple of bits to make a blanket. The anger came in first of all, and the guilt was, why did I let him go in the sea? The guilt was, why did we go on holiday? Why did I allow it? Which is certainly natural. So you'll feel that if you're going through this. I was left on my own there for 2 days, first of all, and I when I went back to the room straight after he passed, I was left alone. The hotel didn't help. And I plopped a whole pallet of tramadol into my sunglass case. And I sat looking out to the sea that had taken my baby. And I thought, perhaps it's my sole contract to go. Because I'm done. So I sat there for about half an hour contemplating whether to just end it all, because I didn't think my heart, my soul could take more pain. The love of my life being taken from me. What's the point? What is the point? And I then decided that the pain my family were going through, my family who adored Darren, to then have by me, I wasn't fair. So I just thought, you can't do it, Nick. You gotta ride this wave, because there's a beauty in it somewhere, and the beauty is that I desperately hope that I reach thousands who have gone through this loss. And it helps you as you watch. My healing and recovery, if it ever happens. So incredibly, I'd packed anti-anxiety, grief violet leaf oil, and sleep sprays, essential oils. Don't even ask me why. Who takes that on holiday? My soul knew. I didn't consciously, but my soul knew. So I desperately tried to employ natural things, hawthorn tea, and I went into an episode of just complete hysteria. I felt like I was having a heart attack. If you feel these symptoms, they're completely natural. And I was dripping sweat, and I panicked and thought I was having a heart attack as well. The doctor came. She was absolutely wonderful. Thank God I can speak Spanish as well, because I was alone. And the police were speaking to me, and the morgue people were speaking to me, the hospital. So it was like me speaking half Spanish, because I don't know the word for morgue, cremation, what do you want done with him, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how that was relevant. And that's when the diazepam journey took place, because my body was just absolutely in the worst shock. The flashbacks of watching him die. The fact that I was never going to have him with me again. That's all I cared about. And little did I know, while I was doing that, and everybody was letting me do it, I didn't have one phone call, nothing, to say, what can we do to help? They were just taking his stuff. Our stuff. So the feeling of betrayal, because someone, a little dicky bird, said, we don't think he's made a will. So everything turned from politely pleasant when I all phoned them to tell me he'd passed, to absolute outright disgraceful harassment, betrayal of his memory, his wishes, his life, his choices to be with me and live with me forever. They didn't know what he would want for his last wishes, the funeral, didn't have a clue. So I told them what he wished for. And the betrayal and all the rest of it created the flashback. So you will, if you go through like the initial shock, pain, trauma. I think from my past, because I'm very strong spiritually, I think if I was just told it passed, but the situation was I was alone, I was betrayed, I was terrified, I didn't know what to do, and my body just said, I can't do this. Not being able to sleep, rocking, shaking, shivering, sweating. It's all normal, so don't panic. But if you can't do it, like I tried to realistically, then I had to take what they gave me, diazepam. And it was bliss, to be honest with you, because she just injected my bottom and I was just in a sleep state. Thank God my insurance were absolutely incredible. And the repatriation team under my insurance. My brother came out and his mother. Then you do the 3D thing. I wanted to stay there until he was repatriated. And then the 5D kicked in because my clever Darren, very clever, showed me he was awake about a day after. But I doubt it, because you think I'm just wishing it, dreaming it. This is where the spiritual bit comes in for you. And he showed me he's a beautiful young face, all clean shaven, his hair done nicely in a pale blue shirt this time. And he walked into a part of me, so I'm just resting here at the moment. I was looking out over the beach and the sun. I'm so glad you're awake. Just please stay with me, darling, stay with me. And then my brother had him visit, and he was wearing his favourite motorbike jacket, and incredibly the shirt he had on the night before he passed, which my brother didn't know, of course. And he said he was so desperately sorry for leaving me in this situation, and that he loved me, and there was loads of other stuff that proved it was him. And incredibly, he went to my sister-in-law wearing exactly the same things separately. So when she told me, I know it was him, but you don't care at that point. You just want to have the person back. I just wanted Darren. I didn't give a shit who was in the spirit world at that point. Eventually I realised that I needed to come back. He was only going to be 2 days after me. And he wanted to be cremated, whoever went first, and then we'd be put together wherever, and then whoever was left could spread our ashes. And that's why obviously he's not going to be honoured, nothing's going to be honoured. He wanted to be buried in holiday stuff, they don't even know that. Got back here, the reality of coming home, seeing our things, and I used to sit and smile and laugh, put me into a massive breakdown. Heart palpitations were even worse. So unfortunately the doctor's been amazing. So you will most probably, if you're in a state like me, they give you diazepam and something called propanol, I think it's called, and it basically like a beta blocker. It slows your heart down, because every time I wake up and realise it's not here, I get it. Obviously every time I've been harassed and the police have been here and people banging on the door, it starts again. So the propanol is a really good drug at the moment. I've chosen not to do anything like alcohol, or, I don't know, vaping or whatever other people do, because why should I damage my body? Because I'm going through grief, because I know I will get there, and I cannot wait to do the video where I can smile and say, I got through this. So, because of the pain and the hate and the ugliness, I'm going to leave here. I need a network that actually loves me and supports me, and that's back in Essex. So now I've got to go through the upheaval of leaving our home. And that's my choice. People make rash decisions, have a think about it. But I'm very lucky that my intuition is very closely connected to me, and I know that this is my time. And so I pulled 3 angel cards. They're here, look at those. And they all were moving on. And every single day, my brother's been here, he's been amazing, and my friend Faye and friends from here. And they pull a card for me every single day. It's been Archangel Darren, I'll review your life, make plans, move on, change your direction, new beginnings. And then my beautiful friend Claire, and you'll know this if you've read my book, Me, Myself and I. Claire owned the beauty salon that she let me use a room. You get breathless a lot as well, and you sweat. As soon as you stand up, you shake and sweat. Just go with it, ride it out. I always said to her, "You're a medium, you're just so amazing." And now she is at last. I haven't heard from her for years. She doesn't know Darren, doesn't know anything. And she sent me this. And this is Darren visiting her, giving her information that was so personal and so on point. He's also been to Lottie. He's been everywhere he can, bringing in the most incredible messages that nobody else would know. And now I realise how much I impacted people with my messages to you over the last 30 odd years, because every little morsel of evidence of them continuing is so important, isn't it? So I'm proud to have been an ambassador this long and brought you that peace. And because of the betrayal, the greed, the ugliness surrounding me here, you have, there's no words, you have been magnificent. And that is what the New Age Collective is about. Joining in your thousands, supporting with light for another light worker. Through the ugliness and the 3D material people, where things, greed, malice, hate, revenge is all that they feed on. And all I want to feed on is his beautiful mortal soul connecting with me with love. So I suppose some people might say, well, if you know he's there and he's brought all these messages, you know, shouldn't be that bad. You've got to go through the grief. I've hated him for leaving me in this position. I've laughed with him. My stomach is horrific. I can't keep anything in. And my brother and my friend Faith forced me to go on the beach the other day, and I ended up needing to go to the toilet. I ended up just going in the sea. And then I just surrendered and asked Archangel Azrael, Raguel, Michael, Ariel to stand by me and my loved ones, protecting us from the ugliness, the hate, and embracing the light and shining in Darren's memory, a beacon of hope and a desperate need for help and direction. So what turned out to be a very embarrassing accident. was quite refreshing, standing there grounding myself in the sea, the place I thought I would never ever want to go back into. I am having horrific nightmares. His family's faces morphing in everywhere I walk, and going back to watching his eyes go as he died. So this could be normal for you with this sort of trauma. White feathers just going past as we speak. Man came to do a valuation on moving. I didn't know if I was making a rash decision or not. And when he left where he was sitting, there was a huge white feather on the settee. Literally just walked out the door and come back in, and there's a feather on the chair, and that wasn't there before. And sometimes you think, fuck the feathers. F the signs, because you just want to hold them. Just do what you need to do. If you can't talk, don't. If you need to sleep, sleep. If someone says, oh, it'd be good if you go for a walk, you don't want to go, don't. If you don't want to shower for 6 days, don't. Own what you need to do. I have all my essential oils for grief. I'm using them. I've got amethyst on. At the moment I've got labradorite to protect me from the evil of his family. I've got my angel aura quartz. I've got rose quartz in my heart chakra. I'm speaking to the angels every time I remember to ask them to stand by me. And then within half hour I'm getting a feather or some angelic sign. It's the only thing I can do, innit? What else would you do? Without faith. Drinking hawthorn tea. Making sure I have vitamin B1. Trying to eat but can't just come straight out, but try and eat if you can. Headaches. Complete mood swings of hope. Them feelings of not wanting to be here. Feelings of anger. Feelings of self-pity, why me? Why did you take him? Feelings of anger with the spirit world and my own stupid soul contract. My beautiful friend George Lewis, who's the most amazing astrologer, did his chart and mine, and it was so destined. It was a soul contract to give him the most blissful years of his life because he was so unhappy. He was going to pass no matter what. And we did so much in those 5, nearly 6 years. We did more than most people would do in a lifetime. And we had the most hugest love. And I know that you loved him all. So they told me I've got to keep away from Fifth Dimension. They're all helping themselves. Oh, that would go nice in my bathroom. I'm on camera watching our stock being taken. And they can choke on it. But do what you need to do. I'll tell you now though. There'll be probate, but they've all taken what they want to take anyway. Cars, you name it. Even though it's illegal, police don't care. So choose your battles. Unless it's life-changing or, you know, I've got every right. I've got most rights out of anybody. I spoke to someone who's been helping me. Thank you, darling Catherine, telling me my rights. She's a solicitor. I don't want them. I don't care. And this is where I am allowing karma to do its thing. Screaming sessions are good. Done those a few times, where you just go somewhere and just scream until you can't scream anymore. It helps to get rid of that knot in your heart. So I've got this permanent knot turning and wrenching my heart chakra, and it's sickening. The nausea, the dizziness, the confusion, the sense of non-reality. You know, as I was doing the CPR and screaming at everybody else and telling them what to do, because of my training as a police officer, I was just turned into police officer head. I felt that I was watching from above. He even described that to my brother. Described where there was a sort of like lifeboat just on the beach, just near the beach, everything. And he was out of his body before he even passed. And he was watching it above with me. That's what happened. So the easiest thing I can say is, it's one day at a time. You're going to not have any clue how you're going to feel. Everybody grieves differently. One minute you think you can handle it, and the next you just want to crumple up and die. Duvet over your head and just pretend it's not happening. Denial for me was very short. That's the first stage. I was very short because obviously the reality was in front of my face. It's hawthorn tea, don't taste a lot. Trying to find beauty, trying to find light, positivity, trying to own my sovereignty and rise above the dark by doing this diary. And no doubt the beauty that will come out of this is possibly I might write it all down to help souls that are going through the worst possible hell that can be provided on this planet. I've been through so much loss, but to lose your soulmate, that's pretty much right up there. I don't know what else, what more I can take. I can't even face looking at all the loving comments from you guys, because I've never ever accepted, taken, borrowed anything off of anybody my whole life. Everything that I've ever achieved and done has been off my own back. Never inherited anything, never been given anything, nothing. I've always battled everything alone. I suppose the beauty, when I lost my home and my life last time, that I've learned that I need to reach out and allow people to look after me. I didn't do that time, and I had like years of just laying in bed, just wanting to die, but that's changed. Still want to die, really don't give a fuck being here, to be honest with you. But I've accepted that I need to be supported and surrounded by people. And that support and love is the most important thing, not geography. And even though my heart breaks to leave my beautiful Devon, I'm looking out now, looking at the trees, hear the sea. I need to go where I can be supported. Reach out for support. Cruise bereavement, not too bad. The doctor's been amazing, and he said that There's an app, I think it's called Scream or something, you text Scream or something, but get to your GP, because there's a mental health crisis connection straight available for the UK. Obviously I don't know about other countries. You've got immediate help and assistance if you feel suicide, having a mental crisis. You know, they give you the Samaritan and everything, but I don't need that, because obviously I've got all of you beautiful souls sending love and healing. And I can feel the surges of when you do it. Suddenly there's a feeling of peace for a little while. So I know when you're doing it. There's nothing more potent than love and sending healing to people. So I thank you for that. The 3D part is really difficult because I can't go anywhere without his t-shirt. I've got his shirt from the last night. I gave everything back to him. I was so sick of being harassed. So everything else went with the greedy people. And at some point that will end. I don't know. I've got Mia's coat. I had like 3 losses of mine, and then I've got Teddy's coat. So I cuddle them and sleep at night. I think it's exhaustion that lets me sleep, but then the nightmares start, and then I'm awake, and then I'm awake all night. Then the heart palpitations start, and the panic and the breathlessness, the sweating. It is a waking nightmare and a sleeping nightmare. But I will not allow what's happened to sink me again. I signed up with my darling Darren to bring him the best years of his life, because he knew he was going to pass at that time. And I've got to honour that. So I just say to you, try and push past the 3D, the human aspects, and try and rise up to where he is, what he's doing. He's on his bike every time, because obviously, you know, all my family's psychic, and all my friends are, and they all say exactly the same thing, what he's wearing. You know, the Cape Verde illness really, really made his stomach distended, and he was in so much pain and discomfort. And he's saying, oh, I'm so sick of this weight. I can't deal with my stomach. And Claire, as you saw, he said, don't have to worry about weight over here. You're right, you're right, it's all true. It is what you said it was, you know. So you have to hold on to that. You have to hold on to the fact that they've just popped over to another dimension, and they will watch you and love you and guide you, and I know he will. That's all I care about. The only 3D thing I wanted was some ashes. I can't even have them. That was the only thing I wanted, just to put under a tree and grow that with Teddy and Mia. That's all I wanted. Didn't want absolutely nothing else. Even though I got a right to it, I don't want any of it. And I can't do that, so I'm going to have to work the spiritual part, which I said is hard because you do get a bit angry. So this is my first diary entry, my vlog, they're called, aren't they? It's cathartic. I can't think of writing and spelling. So I just thought I'd put it on here. It might not even go out, I don't know. But if this series helps someone else, even if it's just one soul, then that's great. So, you would have been there and seen this. We've got his memorial tomorrow night online because we can't have our own memorial. So we'll do a tribe memorial. He absolutely loved you. He loved his new job. He loved our business. He loved getting to know all of our tribe. So you would have been at the memorial, so I've got that tomorrow, which will be nice. So that's home at the moment. Back's flower remedies as well, you could try that. Try not to go to drink or drugs or booze, because all it does is stimulate your body, makes it worse and just delays your grief. Try really hard. Speak to a counsellor or doctor if you feel like you need to be doing that, because that's just not a way to do it. It's not a way to do it, darlings. So, I'm getting a bit panicky now, so I'm going to leave it there. I send love and strength to every single person out there that's grieving. It will get better. I know that. He'll never leave you, but he'll get better. But just be kind to yourself. Do what you need to do when you want to do it. Do not let anybody tell you how and what you should be doing. Own it. Lots of love.